Alright, guys, so something happened to the second child of Mike Bamiloye. That is Joshua Mike Bamiloye, the one that is a gospel artist, graphic designer, and also an actor. I mean, that is a bag of talent right there. So he came online to share something that happened to him at a fuel station, or for those in the Oyibo lands, those in the Obodo Oyibo, you people call it gas station. But in Nigeria here, na fuel station with the column. Either you call it fuel station or I pronounce it like some people. Fuel station. But last, na fuel station with the column. So something happened to him at the fuel station. He said he went there. He told them to, fill his tank with for what 10,000 naira. And then the guy filled it up to 7,000 and then cleaned it up and wrote 10,000 on it. He had to say, "Oh my guy, I saw what you did right there. Give me my complete foil," you know. And then the guy had to put in the remaining, but definitely they will say something now. Yeah, it's the machine is not working. They were like, if the machine was truly not working, that the problem was from the machine, why did you decide to give me the complete one? So he was like, okay, he reacted in that kind of a way. Of course, I'm thinking that's the way most of us will react to being cheated. Do you get? And yeah, I have my own experience too, because when I was kind of little, like right now, I really do not visit the first station. I do not. Yeah, I don't think I have any reason, because my gas, I have somebody that comes to pick it up and go fill it up for me. So I don't really go there. But when I was younger, I my dad would always send me to the fuel station, either to go get fuel or kerosene then. We're using kerosene then. So sometimes he sends us to get kerosene, and other times he sends us to get fuel. These people, you would actually practically see there that that was not up to the amount that you were charged, and they will tell you it's okay. The machine has some issues, so like when I heard him saying that, I was like, oh, it's not a new news. That's what they do. But I'm happy he fought for his rights. Okay, so but the big question right here is that he was like, okay, as a child of God, what advice would you have given him to at that point? Like, what do you think his reaction could have been as a child of God? Because he said he was really upset. And of course, yes, we are not robots. You have to be upset. Somebody cheated you and you found out. You got cheated and you found out. Definitely we are going to react. You're not, you know, but I don't know. Some persons would have actually wanted him to, be quiet, just hop into his car and drive off, even after realizing that, he was cheated. But I'm not of that opinion. So long he didn't fight, he was only upset. I was demanding for justice. I think that is fine. As a child of God, you're not supposed to be timid. You're supposed to be outspoken. Except at that point when he saw it, and then the Holy Spirit whispers to him and said, just leave it and move on there. No problem. There's nothing you can do. The Holy Spirit, at some point usually breaks us that sometimes we want to react and he will be like, or sometimes we just want to talk and say, no, that's a lie. And you'll be like, you just shut up. And then you just have to close your mouth. It's painful, it's hurtful, but you're like, oh, he said I should shut up. What can I do? And then you just, shut up at that point. So for me personally, I would say that he reacted fine so long he wasn't into any fight and he wasn't using abusive words. He was just demanding for his right. And then he was angry. Of course, he should be upset. Do you get? So I also know that some other persons would be of the school of thoughts that he could have just, stayed quiet and just left. Do you understand? Or maybe stop reacting after the guy has actually filled his tank. Uh, Tell me what you guys think.
I just want to rant a little bit. So something happened just now when I wanted to buy fuel at a filling station, and I wanted to buy 10,000 naira. And I asked this guy to fill the tank, and he punched in 10,000 naira and started filling up. And I was looking back occasionally to check if it was done. And I noticed something when he got to 7,000 naira. When he got to 7,000 naira, He stopped the machine, punched in 10,000, and then removed the nozzle from my tank and put it back in the engine. And then I came out. I asked him, "What did you just do?" He got shook a little. I said, "Nothing. It's done." I said, "What do you mean it's done?" I said, "I saw the numbers get to 7,000." And so he was like, "No, that it was done." I said, "What?" I just removed my seatbelt, came out of the car. I said, "Sell the rest." He said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Sell the rest." I was so upset. I said, "I saw you change it from 7,000 to 10,000 naira. Sell the rest." And then he immediately put it back inside and started punched in the remaining 2,100 and something. And so when people started gathering, I said, "Why did you just do that?" He said, "No, that it was just mumbling all sorts." People started gathering. What happened? What happened? I said, "This guy is a thief." I said, "He just sold 7,000 instead of 10,000 and he thought I didn't see him." He said, "No, he was saying that no, that the machine had a problem, that it was actually 10,000. I said, "So why are you now selling me the remaining 2,100 and something? Why aren't you telling me that?" He said, I said, "You know what? I'm going to speak to your manager." I said, "You are spoiling the reputation of this place." I was so upset. The reason I was upset was because it has happened to me before. I knew they didn't sell it completely, but I couldn't talk because I didn't see them. And so I felt cheated, but I couldn't say anything. First time. The second time it happened in the filling station again, I saw it, but to see it again, I was like, this is getting even more rampant. And so I was so upset. I started coming to beg. The Okada guys that came to buy to were begging me. They were still even confused as to what was going on. I told them, if I don't buy anything yet, these people are thieves. They don't buy anything yet. So after 5 to 10 minutes of ranting and asking for the manager, they didn't answer me. I was like, okay. And I drove off. Still very upset. I drove off. I think the compensation that they felt was that, okay, he has sold you the remaining, so why are you still angry? That was kind of like the subconscious look they were giving me. And I was upset that, don't you people see that this is wrong? I said, this is very wrong. But I just want to rant, because if someone had advised me as a child of God, what would you do? Would you let it go and just drive off? Or would you get to the bottom of it, reaching the manager to be sure that the manager isn't in on this, or the manager isn't even aware of what's going on? So as a child of God, what would you do at this point in time? If someone asked me this question, I know what I can advise, but being in this situation, I feel like, let me hear from other fellow believers. What would you do in this situation? Or have you even been in this situation before? What did you do? What did you do?
Thank you for watching our videos. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also turn on your notification bells. See you.